Welcome to a special episode of the Gilbert Gottfried's amazing Colossal podcast. Make some noise. We're live at Sid Gold's Request Room, Chelsea, New York City. I'm Joe McGinty, your pianist for the evening, and please welcome your host, Frank Santopadre, and the golden voice himself, Gilbert Gottfried.
Gil, you're the golden voice. Welcome everybody. Wow, what a turnout. We haven't been here in a while. Shall we talk about what happened the last time we were here, Gilbert?
We did, I think, 3 shows here in one night.
We did.
And at the end of the night, we said, you know, these are great. These are terrific. Sometimes you get that fit, you know, each one's a hit. And Frank Verderosa erased all.
No, it wasn't him.
Stop sticking up for him.
Frank wasn't even working with us then.
That doesn't excuse him.
So we're here with Joe McGinty at fabulous Sid Gold's. I'll be updating the listening audience as we go. Sid Gold's Request Room. Gilbert turned to me about 5 minutes ago and said, "What's the name of this place?" How many times have you been here? Shameful.
And to show you what a guinea Frank is. He turns, I don't even know what he was referring to, but he turned to me and whispered, rabbis bless people, right? And so it's going to be a smooth night.
There's a rabbi in the house. David Komarovsky is here, which we're thrilled that a rabbi listens to this podcast.
That sounds like a show that appeals to Jews and blacks. Rabbi in the house.
So we're going to do something different than the Lost episodes. We thought, do we bring those back? But for the people who were here for that, we thought we'd do something new. We did one-hit wonders of the 1970s the last time.
It was a great show.
You missed a great show.
I wish you would have heard it.
It was special. We're going to do something different from the podcast, you guys who listen to the show. We're going to do story songs.
Yes.
Gilbert and I lament the loss of the story song.
Well, you gotta sit there for like 3 hours to hear the entire song.
Songs like Harry Chapin's Taxi and Ode to Billy Joe, which is one you like.
Oh,
right?
yes, or the classic, the one that's like a mini-series, or Allison's Restaurant.
That's a mini-series, yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm partial to the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Oh, yes. One time on the show, I called it the wreck of the Barry Fitzgerald.
Totally different. If you know who Barry Fitzgerald is, you should be here. You should be a part of this show. So we're going to do story songs. Joe is going to have some fun facts, some song facts that he's going to offer. This is fun, too. Gilbert does not know what we're going to sing. So these are...
I purposely stayed away. I didn't ask. I'm going to see what happens. In the first 3 shows, I was guessing.
Aren't you pretty much guessing every week on this podcast?
Yeah. No, it's all preparation on my part.
We also have some trivia questions that we're going to ask, and my wife, the lovely Genevieve, will be handing out prizes. But we don't have lights or buzzers, so please don't shout out the answer if you know it. Just shoot your hand up, and the first hand I see, the first winning answer or correct answer, will get the invaluable, priceless $5 orange wedge pen. Shall we start?
Sure.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to give a little bit of an intro to this one. This is a song written by a Nashville songwriter named Don Schlitz. We're going to tell a little bit of the stories behind the story songs. Don Schlitz did not play poker. You can probably guess what song it is. Also, you have lyric sheets on your tables, and that should be giving it away. It's not really a song about a card game. It's a metaphorical song about...
It's my Yiddish mama.
That's it.
Yes.
What I found impressive, did you find this in your notes? He was all of 23 when he wrote this song.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
It's a heady song, a philosophical song to be written by a 23-year-old. He shopped it at the urging of Shel Silverstein, the writer Shel Silverstein, who will come up again later. We talked about him on the podcast.
Yes, a bunch of times. Shel
Johnny
Silverstein.
Cash recorded it, but he did not have a hit with it. Mr. Kenny Rogers had a mega hit with it. I think you guys can figure out what we're talking about. And we will do the trivia right after the song. But I thought this was fun. It was a #1 country hit. It crossed into the Billboard charts, which a lot of country songs don't usually do. And this guy, the writer, was working as a computer programmer. So when the song went big and spawned five TV movies, 5 Gambler movies, the guy was actually able to quit his day job and become a full-time songwriter. So I kind of like that story. We're going to give this a shot.
Shel Silverstein's dead, isn't he?
He's dead.
Yeah.
Yes. Or we would have had him.
He was the time of like when Playboy Club was really the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, and also wrote a very famous story song that we're not going to do, A Boy Named Sue.
Yes, yes.
And one of my favorites, well, we'll get to that later. Let's start with this one and see how we do. Shall we? You guys have your lyric sheets? You want to give it a shot?
Okay, so
Joe's been practicing.
All right, so I'm going to count you guys in because I know we don't have a bouncing ball or anything, but this is old school piano bar.
Count Gilbert in.
Yeah, here we go. 1, 2, 3. On a warm
One summer's evening, on a train bound to nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We both too tired to sleep, so we took turns just staring out the window at the darkness. The boredom overtook us, and we began to speak. He said, son, I made a life of reading people's faces and knowing what the cards are by the way they all arrive. So if you don't mind my taste, I did. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice. So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all the
If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
Here you go, Gil.
You gotta know when to hold it, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. They'll be down for counting when the dealing's done.
Key change, Gil.
1, 2, 3. Now
Every gambler knows the secret to surviving is knowing when to throw away, knowing what to keep. Cause every hand's a winner, and every hand's a loser, and the best that you hope for is to lie in your sleep. And when he finished speaking, he turned to the window, crushed out his cigarette, and faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, and in his final words, found an ace that I can keep. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting with the table. Be counting up and counting. When the game is time, you got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. They'll count up and counting when the deal is done.
Wow.
All right.
Gilbert is on a 7-second delay. He spent a lot of time working in radio. Wow. Wow, that was energetic.
Energy is good.
What do you got on the gambler, Joe?
Well, I basically repeat what you said, but there were several TV movies. There was Kenny Rogers as the Gambler, Kenny Rogers as the Gambler, The Adventure Continues, Kenny Rogers as the Gambler Part 3, The Legend Continues, The Gambler Returns, Luck of the Draw, and The Gambler 5, Playing for Keeps.
Gilbert's seen them all.
Now, there was a very strange Kenny Rogers that song, another story song where a girl gets raped.
Coward of the County.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't pick that one for that reason.
And
Thanks for bringing it up.
and they made it into a TV movie.
My editor here?
And there's the part in the song where he locks the doors and he's going to get his revenge. And then it turns into like this fun-filled bar brawl. And it's like, they're cracking the chairs over each other's heads and the bottles cracked and it's loads of fun. And I'm going, do they know this had to do with a girl being raped? It was, you got to see this movie. It's handled in a way.
They made a movie out of Coward of the County?
They did.
Yes,
They
I'll be
did.
damned.
And the revenge looks like all the most fun Western you've ever watched.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to do our first trivia question. And the lovely Genevieve will hand out a prize. Speaking of the Kenny Rogers Gambler movie, the first one. What actor played Billy Montana, the young gambler who was mentored by Rogers' character, Brady
got
Hawks?
a guy in the back.
See a hand right in the back. Sir. You are correct.
Gee!
Bruce Boxleitner.
Wow!
That man is a ringer.
Now, Bruce Boxleitner is not a Jew. Yeah.
Identify yourself. Who got that right? Who got that question right? Peter Brown. Peter Brown. Nice work. You what's that? He had 3 orange pins already. Well, got a set.
Was Bruce Leitner...
Bruce Boxleitner.
Was he the Russian prize fighter in the Rocky movie? Which was the Russian
No, that was
prize
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, they're often confused.
Yes.
He was in Tron, and he Scarecrow and Mrs. King with Kate Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Who remembers that?
Kate Jackson
Yeah.
was offered Kramer versus Kramer.
I didn't know that.
But they wouldn't let her out of her contract with Charlie's Angels.
That's a killer.
And then she has to not only see Meryl Streep get the part, but Meryl Streep win the Academy Award.
It hurt. That had to hurt.
Yeah.
That's like Tom Selleck not being able to get out of the Magnum contract to play Indiana Jones. So I know Gilbert very well, and we've had a lot of musical episodes, and I anticipated he might be a little off-tempo, so we're going to do a slower one. This is a story song. Joe knows this one well because they did at Losers Lounge.
Yes, we just did a whole ABBA Losers Lounge show.
My wife and I are kicking ourselves for missing that. This was originally recorded by ABBA's Friede Lindstad, recorded on her solo album, and Bjorn put English lyrics on it. It was originally called Tango. And ABBA's limo driver, boy, I hope these facts are accurate. ABBA's limo driver suggested changing the title of the song to Fernando. And Bjorn also changed the meaning of the song, Gilbert. I know you're hanging on every word.
Yes.
He envisioned the song being about 2 freedom fighters in the Mexican-American War. Which would explain
it had
Andy Garcia.
nothing to do with the song at all.
Nothing to do with the song at all. But that explains Andy Garcia showing up in the movie, in the second ABBA movie. Topped the charts in 13 countries, sold 10 million records, one of ABBA's biggest songs. We will not talk about the Cher version or the Gilbert version to come. So let's give this one a try. I think you all know it. If you don't, you have your lyric sheets.
1, 2, can you hear the drums, Fernando?
I love it. I remember long ago another starry night like this.
And the firelight. Oh.
softly strumming your guitar. I could hear the distant drums and sounds of bugle calls when coming from afar. 1, 2, they're closer now.
Fernando!
Every hour, every minute seemed to last eternally. I was so afraid, Fernando. We were young and full of life, and none of us prepared to die. And I'm not ashamed to say the roar of guns and cannons almost made me cry. Hit it, Gil.
There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright, Fernando. They were shining there for you and me, for liberty, Fernando. Though we never thought that we could lose, there's no regret. If I had it all the same again, I would, my friend Fernando.
And if
I had to do the same again, I would, my friend Fernando.
One,
I can hear the flutes.
3, 4, 1. Now we're old and gray, Fernando.
Since many years I haven't seen a rifle in your hands. Can you hear the drums, Fernando? Do you still recall the fateful night we crossed the Rio Grande? I can see it in your eyes, how proud we were to fight for freedom in the land.
Here we go.
Here we go, Gil. There was
Something in the air that night. The stars were bright, Fernando.
There was
Something there for you and me, liberty, Fernando.
But we never thought that we could lose. There's no regret.
Sing it, Seth.
'Cause if I had to do
Do it all again, I would, my friend Fernando.
one more time. There
There was
was
something in the air that night. The stars were bright, Fernando.
Let us hear you.
They were shining there for you and me, for liberty, Fernando.
Though I never thought that we could lose. There's no regrets.
If I had to do the same again, I would, my friend Fernando.
And if
I had to do the same again, I would, my friend Fernando.
I think when they get to the 5th sequel to Mamma Mia, that will be a nice
Oh, I
moment.
have a tear. That was beautiful. Okay. What do you got on that one, Joe?
Well, I do have some of the original lyrics.
Tidbits.
It's before the lyrics were originally written by Stig Anderson. the
Yes,
manager,
Stig Anderson, who
who is
contributed.
actually a songwriter as well. But the lyrics were, "The sorrow can be hard to bear, but the fact that friends let us down is something we all have to cope with."
Very good.
And then the chorus is, "Long live love, our best friend Fernando. Raise your glass, propose a toast to love, Fernando. Play the melody and sing a song of happiness. Long live love, Fernando."
You know, ABBA was getting together to record 2 songs. You guys know about this? 2 new songs coming in December?
For the hologram tour.
Yeah, for the hologram tour. They are not reuniting, but they did go into the studio to record 2 songs.
Another bit of tidbit is they got their start writing music for a porn movie called The Seduction of Inga.
I knew that.
It's worth checking out for the music.
That's
for
some Gilbert-specific trivia right there. Did you hear that, Gil?
Now, ABBA's illegitimate children, I guess, is Ace
Ace
to
of
Base.
Base.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
And they found out that one of Ace to Base was a Nazi. He wasn't old enough to be a real Nazi. He was one of these more modern day Nazi groups. But he said he's ashamed of it, so it's
Wow.
okay. Okay, Rabbi? He's ashamed of it. Rabbi, stay there. Ace to base is ashamed of their Nazi past.
Oh, my God. 2 songs in, we've had a sexual assault reference and a Nazi reference. It's a party. Okay, trivia. Which 2, we're going to look for hands. Gil, be eagle-eyed.
Yeah, okay.
Which 2 90s films, both Australian comedies, featured this song? I'll need 2. I need a hand. Only raise your hand if you know both. This lady in the middle.
Adventure to Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and Muriel's Wedding.
Give that lady a pin.
Jeez.
The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, a movie I like a lot, and Muriel's Wedding, which is one of my wife's favorites. Did you know those, Gil?
I was just about to say it.
You were.
Before she said it. Yeah.
She jumped you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, now we're going to do something fun. Ms. Gottfried, what do you think? I got you a lyric sheet. There's a story attached to this that I heard when I got here that I didn't know. Oh, but you want to tell it?
Oh yeah, this is kind of how we all got to know each other. Dara came in one time, and her friend signed her up with her last name. And I said, "Oh, are you related to Gilbert?" And she said, "Oh yeah, I'm his wife." And it just so happened that my friend Mike McPadden was coming into town. Shout out to Mike. He does all the social media and website stuff. He does. And you guys came back the next night, so it was like an instant small world connection. It was very fun. And this is the song that's started it all.
Can I do a little warning first? I really can't sing, and I'm almost as bad as Gilbert.
You got 60 other people singing to drown you out.
Please sing loud. But this is the one song that I love singing karaoke.
I'm just going to give them a little bit of history about it before we start. It was a top 10 country hit in 1972 for Tanya Tucker. You guys know where we're going with this. Written by one of the songwriters was Alex Harvey, and the song was about his mother, which is interesting. It's a song about a woman obsessed with an old suitor, and his mother was in fact a hairdresser from Brownsville. So it's autobiographical. Helen Reddy went to #1 with it in 1973. Gilbert, his mother, the songwriter's mother, eventually committed suicide. That would be of interest to you.
Yeah.
Dara, you will love this. It was almost released as a single by Bette Midler.
And she was the first to record it.
There you go. And what happened? Capitol Records, Reddy's version on Capitol Records beat Bette Midler's version on Atlantic Records by 2 days. They put it out, they jumped her, and put it out 2 days earlier.
Well, that's actually how I think I got to know the song. Was it from the Divine Messene?
Yes, it's on that record.
Yeah.
Very good. So here we go. Dara Gottfried on lead.
I have to stand.
Okay. However you have to work.
I have to stand. All right.
However your instrument works.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? And did I hear you say he was meeting you here today to take you to his mansion in the sky?
Sing along.
She's 41 and her daddy still calls her baby. Says she's crazy, 'cause she walks downtown with a suitcase in her hand, looking for a mysterious dark-haired man. In her younger days they called her Delta Dawn, prettiest woman you ever laid eyes on. Then a man of low degree stood by her side, promised her he'd take her for his bride.
It's all choruses.
Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? And did I hear you say he was meeting you here today to take you to his mansion in the sky? Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from
Delta Dawn. It's a family affair.
I loved when you did that Sonny and Cher thing there.
Yes.
You were both on the same mic. Okay. Now we're going to pick a different person than the people who won previously. But here's the trivia question about Delta Dawn. What character on the show Friends, sang this in a karaoke bar, in a piano bar? Any hands? You got six chances.
Oh, someone.
One right there in the back. That is incorrect. It is not Phoebe. Do we have another guess? Who sang Delta Dawn?
Ross.
Wrong! Very incorrect.
Oh, there's a bunch of people now.
Who's this gentleman at the next
Okay,
booth?
in the checkered shirt.
Huh? Not Chandler. We're down to 3. This gentleman in the glasses. Courtney Cox, correct. Monica sang it. Give that man an orange wedge pin. Some are hard, some are easy.
Granted, when you guessed it, we had named the entire cast.
We were down to ugly naked guy.
we were naming people from Seinfeld.
Derek, great job on Delta Dawn.
There we go. Derek Godfrey.
How about that? Okay, we're going to let Gilbert run the show on this one.
Okay.
Heaven help us. This is one of your favorites, Gilbert, and it's come up on the podcast. And we did discuss the great Shel Silverstein. Everybody in here know who Shel Silverstein was? Yeah, you should. One of my favorites. And he wrote a song I adore for Dr. Hook on the medicine show called Cover the Rolling Stone. But not a story song.
Oh, wait, where?
We're not going to do that one. Go back.
Okay.
No, back. Forward.
This is very well prepared, this show.
They're in order. I don't know how you got lost. 3 comes after 2. Then 4. This is a Gottfried favorite from the podcast.
I have Fernando.
No.
Okay. Delta Dawn. I have the Gambler.
Try this one.
Okay.
Here we go. Written by Shel Silverstein, the genius Shel Silverstein, who had 2 hits for Dr. Hook in 1972. One of them was the aforementioned Cover of the Rolling Stone. This one somehow sold 1 million copies. I don't know how. Joe laughed at me when I suggested it. It's autobiographical. It's about...
It's sad.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
sad song to listen to.
It's a sad song. Shel Silverstein, the writer, was in love with a woman named, this was deep research now, folks, a woman named Sylvia Pandolfi. And he found out she was engaged to another man, actually a bullfighter / painter.
And his name was Fernando.
There you go. There's a callback. Beautiful. So he made a phone call, desperate to reunite with this woman, this ex-flame. He called her mother, Louisa. You can find this information on the interwebs. And she told him the relationship was over. He did, in fact, call from a payphone. So this is a song that is no longer topical or timely. This is a song that is instantly dated. And she told him that the relationship was over and that she had moved on with the bullfighter. The song was covered by Bobby Bare, the country singer, and also Bon Jovi. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. It sounds like BS. Gil, this is a favorite of yours, so we're going to do it.
Okay.
Some of you may know this.
1, 2, 3.
Sylvia's mother says Sylvia's busy, too busy to come to the phone.
Jim's confused.
Sylvia's mother says Sylvia's trying to start a new life on her own. Sylvia's mother says Sylvia's happy, so why don't you leave her alone? And the operator said 40 cents more for the next 3 minutes. mother says Sylvia's packing. She's gonna be leaving today. Sylvia's mother says Sylvia's marrying a fella down Galveston Way.
Bullfighter.
Sylvia's mother says, please don't say nothing to make her start crying and stay. And the operator says 40 cents more for the next 3 minutes. Please, Mrs. Avery, I gotta talk to her. I'll only keep her a while. Please, Mrs. Avery, I wanna tell her goodbye.
Here you go.
Sylvia's mother says Sylvia's hurrying to catch the 9 o'clock train. Sylvia's mother says, take your umbrella, 'cause Sylvia, it's starting to rain. And Sylvia's mother says, thank you for calling, and sir, won't you call back again? And the operator says 40 cents more for the next 3 minutes. Please, Mrs. Avery, I gotta talk to her. I'll only keep her a while. Please, Mrs. Avery, I just wanna tell her goodbye.
Tell her
Goodbye.
Sylvia's mother.
So sad. So sad.
Yeah, I find this to be a very sad song, but Shel Silverstein always wrote fun stuff.
Yeah. Although a boy named Sue gets a little dark.
Yeah, oh, that's
A little
right.
weird. I also love Freakin' at the Freaker's Ball.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Another great one by
So,
Shel
Lee
Silverstein.
Hazelwood told me a good Shel Silverstein.
Lay it on me,
story.
bro.
Well, they used to hang out at the Playboy Club, like you guys were saying. And Shel Silverstein was only a writer at that time. And he came up to Lee Hazelwood. He's like, I want to write songs. He said, I'll teach you 4 chords in 2 keys. And that's all you need to write songs.
Wow.
And it kind of, like his songs are kind of like that. Usually just 2 or 3 chords, So
I love
there you
Cover
go.
of the Rolling Stone. Don't you? Yeah. Well,
There's some great YouTube clips of that.
And the rabbi will be interested to know
yeah.
that Silverstein was a Jew.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm guessing Sylvia was a Jew as well.
yeah, yes.
Well, why did she want him to call back again? That's
I know,
that's
it doesn't
puzzling.
quite make sense.
Sir, please, sir, won't you call back again? I think
Yeah.
he got all the information he
Yeah,
needed.
it seems like stop calling.
He had a lot of change in his pocket, too, for all those
Stop
extra
if
40
you,
cents.
Yeah, it's like if you call again, I'm gonna notify the police. Should have been the line.
We like songs of heartbreak on the podcast. We did an episode called Death Songs of the 1970s. And you got into that.
Yes, there was that great song with the blind man in the bleachers.
Blind Man in the Bleachers. If you guys don't know this one, go home and Google The Blind Man in the Bleachers.
And kill yourself afterwards. Because it's that scary and depressing.
Yeah. I like those scary, depressing, sad songs. I'm a sucker for things like Seasons in the Sun. So what do I know? Okay, so...
Oh, and that was not written. It was beloved by a serial killer.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. That's true. Okay, so the trivia ranges from easy to hard. The friend's question was rather on the easy side. This one is super tough. Gilbert, I know you know the answer to this, so don't shout it
okay.
out. Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show, they later just became Dr. Hook. There's a whole interesting story about how the band got its name, which we won't go into. But they appeared in an obscure 1971 Dustin Hoffman movie with a rather unwieldy title.
Oh boy, I know this one.
Do I have somebody right here? Chris.
Who is Harry Kellerman and why is he saying
Yes!
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Now that's a guy that earned an orange wedge pin.
He did. Now,
Christopher Bly.
Who was that other actor in it? I don't know if he was.
Barbara Harris was in it. I think
Harris.
Jack Warden turned up.
Yeah, but there was another actor in it who played his friend.
Well, if we weren't doing a live show, I'd look it up.
Oh, fuck. Can anyone look
That's
on
not
their
it.
phone to see the cast of who is Harry Kellerman and why is he saying those terrible things?
How many
about
people have seen that movie?
No one.
Nobody.
Oh,
Ted
that
Saltzman's
person
seen it.
over there.
This
Two
gentleman's
people
seen it.
saw
Two
it.
people saw who was Harry Kellerman and why is he saying those terrible things about me.
I think that person who played his friend may have been a Bowery boy at one point.
Oh, it was. It was Gabe Dell.
Yes, Gabe Dell.
Gabe Dell.
Oh, fuck.
Me and Mrs. Dell are the two people who know that. The answer to that. We did an episode about movies with goofy long titles. You remember that? Any
Yes,
episode?
yes, like, the one with Anthony Perkins, Anthony Newley
Oh.
and Joan
Collins.
Collins, which is the one with, who is, will Heronius Merkin marry Mercy Humpy and find true happiness?
Right. We also did Oh Dad, Mama's hung you in the closet and I'm feeling so sad.
Yes.
Which was an actual movie title. We did an episode. Let's see if you can find it. Mini episode on that silly shit. Okay.
Oh, and Anthony Newley.
Yes.
Jew.
Rabbi, are you keeping score?
Yes.
What's that? Also of the Jewish persuasion.
Yeah.
Very good. Look at this guy fast on his feet.
Anthony Newley used to always come on those variety shows.
Yeah.
There's always a joker in the pack. There's always a cardboard clown. The poor painted fool falls on his back, and everyone laughs when he's down. There's always a funny man in the game, but he's only funny by mistake. Everyone laughs at him just the same. They don't see his lonely heart break.
If you guys came here tonight hoping for an Anthony Newley impersonation, your hopes were handsomely rewarded. Okay, we're going to go from the downbeat nature of Sylvia's mother. How many people, by the way, show of hands, had even heard of that song or knew it? 5. Wow. And will you be buying it now? Will you be going out and buying the K-Tel collection? We're going to do something upbeat, and we want to hear everybody on this one. From 1973, one of the most popular songwriters of story songs is the late, great Jim Croce. Rapid Roy, that stock car boy. And
Don't Mess Around with Jim.
you don't mess around with Jim.
I always thought what would happen if Bad Leroy Brown ran into Jim. That would have been a good sequel.
It would be.
Right.
It would be.
Now, both the stories.
Italian,
song
don't
guys-
say it. Italian Jim Croce.
Both the story song guys both died in car crashes.
Who would those be?
Well, wouldn't that be Harry Chapin?
He died in a car crash. Jim Croce. Thanks for bringing the show up again. Jim Croce died in a plane crash.
A plane. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. See, so it wasn't so sad.
Moving right along. It's a story about a character from Chicago's South Side. Any Chicagoans in the room? Any Midwesterners? None. Good. What were the chances out of 57 people? Yeah, Yeah, it was actually followed. It followed a song with a similar story, which was "You Don't Mess Around with Jim," which you pointed out. This song was inspired by a guy that Croce served with at Fort Dix. Did you know any of this, Seth?
I've heard some of this stuff.
This is good stuff here, pal. There were rumors, though, that it was about a guy named Don Dedrick Roby, who was a muscle guy who worked for ABC, for the ABC label, who used to commit violence to control musicians who were on the label.
Okay.
So unconfirmed, the true story behind Bad Leroy Brown. Leroy Brown, here's a little fun trivia. Leroy Brown himself was credited as a background vocalist on a Croce hit called I Got a Name. And I'm bringing that up. Jim Croce Jewish?
Yes, absolutely.
I'll be damned. I can't win
Yeah! Can we get a big round of applause? That Jim Croce is a Jew.
one. Can't win one.
Rabbi, stand up and take a bow.
He converted. It doesn't count. It's like Sammy Davis.
Well,
really a Jew.
and Marilyn Monroe.
Yes. Not really. Rod Carew. Thank you. Panamanian guy. Not a Jew. Not a Jew by birth. I bring up I Got a Name because it was written by Charlie Fox, who was on a recent episode. The great Charles Fox. You will be hearing from him soon as we put that episode up. So we're going to take a shot at this one. And then I got a fun trivia question. So shall we? Everybody knows this. Here we go.
1, 2, 3. Well, the south
Outside of Chicago, in the baddest part of town. And if you go down there, you better just beware of a man named Leroy Brown. Now, Leroy's more than trouble.
You see, he stands about 6'4".
And all the downtown ladies call him Tree Top Lover, and the men just call him Sir. And it's bad, Leroy Brown. Baddest man in the whole damn town. Badder than old King Kong. Meaner than the junkyard dog. Leroy, he's a gambler. And he likes his fancy clothes. And he likes to wave his diamond ring in front of everybody's nose. He got a custom Continental. He's got an Eldorado too. He's got a 32 gun in his pocket full of fun.
Got a razor in his shoe.
And he's bad, Leroy Brown. Baddest man in the whole damn town. Badder than old King Kong. Meaner than junkyard dog.
Friday,
About a week ago.
Leroy's shooting dice. At the edge of the bars, had a girl named Doris. Ooh, that girl looked nice.
Well, he cast his eyes upon her, and the trouble soon began. 'Cause Leroy Brown, he learned a lesson. That's a jealous man.
And it's
Bad, Leroy Brown. Baddest man in the whole damn town. Badder than old King Kong. Meaner than a junkyard dog.
well, the two men took to fighting when they pulled them off the floor. Leroy looked like a jigsaw puzzle with a couple of pieces gone.
Yeah.
And he's
Bad, Leroy Brown. Baddest man in the whole damn town. Badder than old King Kong. Meaner than a junkyard dog.
Yeah, he was bad than old King Kong.
Meaner than a junkyard dog.
Beautiful.
You know what I just thought of now? I wonder if the guys who wrote Trading Day with Denzel Washington were listening to this song when Denzel Washington has the line, King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Interesting. A trenchant insight, Gilbert.
See?
That could be true. Anybody know?
No.
Nobody's from Chicago. If McPadden were here,
Because there was another Denzel Washington movie in Malcolm X, where he says that we didn't land on Pilgrim Rock. Pilgrim Rock landed on us. But years before that, Cole Porter had that as the leading into, that anything goes. He sings
That man works for ASCAP.
Yeah, Pilgrim Rock landed on us.
I remember the movie. We go off on tangents sometimes. Perhaps you've noticed. Want to do a little trivia? Yay. Who wants an orange wedge pin? This song was covered by the likes of Frank Sinatra. Not well, I might add. Dolly Parton, Jerry Lee Lewis, the Killer. I'd love to hear that version. But what comedic actor, frequently discussed on this very podcast, I already see a hand going up, performed this song on a Sandy Duncan, don't tell him, TV special in 1974? Gentleman in the white shirt. Paul Lynde. Correct! Paul Lynde.
Wow.
Circle gets the square.
Circle gets the square. Very good, Joe.
And Rabbi Paul Lynde hated the Jews. Yeah. He used to get drunk and go, "Oh, those fucking Jews. They're the reason I don't have a career."
I think that's one of your greatest hits.
Yes.
He didn't hear it. Do it again. My friend didn't hear it.
Oh, I didn't hear it. An encore performance. He didn't hear it.
Oh, those fucking Jews. They're the reason I don't have a career.
I wish your daughter wasn't recording that for the internet. He substituted the line "a water pistol" in his shoe. Apparently, the NBC censors at the time were not thrilled with the idea of a razor in his shoe. I wonder if they made Croce change it when he sang it live. What do you think Bad Bad Leroy Brown's Paul Lynde's version sounded like, Gil?
Yeah. Well, he's bad Leroy Brown. I know he's bad as any Jew.
Oh, Lordy.
Floyd the Barber.
Floyd the Barber singing Bad Bad Leroy Brown?
He's bad. Leroy Brown. He's the baddest cat in the whole damn town.
Groucho on Dick Cavett.
Here's a bonus. Gilbert, they're yelling out requests. Well, it is Sid Gold's request room. Yeah, like John MacGyver doing Bad Bad Leroy Brown.
Well, this bad Leroy Brown, bad as cat, the whole damn town. He's bad as an old King Kong. He's meaner, I tell you, than a junkyard dog.
Okay, last one. Old Groucho doing Bad Bad Leroy Brown.
Well, he's bad Leroy. And Leroy was a name that started with L. And that was the name. If someone was named Leroy, you'd start their name with an L, and then there'd be an E and an R afterwards. And this would spell out Leroy. If you added an O and a Y to it.
Extra bonus content. This show is its own special edition DVD. Okay, we're going to bring one back. We're coming down the home stretch. How many people are drunk? Who's still with us? This is a callback to the fateful night, the last time we were here, What shall we refer to that night as? The night the night the episode died. Which is a clue to the song. We were doing one-hit wonders of the 70s, as I said last time. We had a malfunction. Not Frank Verderosa. Let's keep Frank's professional reputation intact. We had a malfunction. We lost all 3 episodes. We decided to bring one back because it covers 3 categories that we like to do on the podcast, Gil. One is it's a story song, obviously. It is a one-hit wonder because their other hit charted in the UK, so it doesn't count. And it's a death song of the 1970s.
It's got everything.
It's got everything. So we're going to bring it back. You guys have your lyric sheets. Some of you were here for the last time. We did it. And here we go.
It starts talking, right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Daddy was a cop on the east side of Chicago,
Back in the USA.
back in the bad old days.
In the heat of the summer.
Summer night in the land of the dollar bill, when the town of Chicago died, and they talk about it still. When a man named Al Capone tried to make that town his own, when he called his gang to war and the forces of the law, mama cried. I heard her pray the night Chicago died.
Bring it up, Seth.
Brother, what a night it really was. Brother, what a fight it really was. Glory be. I heard mama cry. I heard her pray the night Chicago died. Brother, what a night the people saw. Brother, what a night people saw. Yes, indeed.
And the sound of the battle rang
Through the streets of the old east side.
Till the lights of the hoodlum gang
Go, Gil.
ended up and died. There was shouting in the street and the sound of running feet. And I asked someone who said about 100 cops are dead.
I heard my
Mama cry. I heard her pray the night Chicago died. Brother, what a night it really was. Brother, what a fight it really was. Glory be.
I heard my mama cry.
I heard her pray the night Chicago died. Brother, what a night it really was. Brother, what a fight the people saw. Yes, indeed.
and there was no sound at all.
But the clock upon the wall. Then the door burst open wide.
And my daddy stepped inside.
And he kissed my mama's face.
And he wiped the tears away.
Night Chicago died.
Na, 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 na.
Chicago died.
Brother, what a night the people saw. Brother, what a fight the people saw. Yes, indeed.
Wow.
The night Chicago died.
Yes, the unforgettable band Paper Lace.
Right, and
Who could forget them?
that's right. They also had a hit with Billy Don't Be a Hero in England.
In the UK, buddy. Yeah, it didn't
and then Bo
count.
Donaldson and the Haywoods had a hit.
Bo
here.
Donaldson and the Haywoods. We did them on Death Songs of the 70s. I'll just keep plugging old episodes of the podcast. We did it. The night Chicago died. Now, a trivia question, and this one should be pretty easy. You guys listening? Yes. Podiatus, every year. Every year, buddy. What is factually inaccurate about this song? I see a hand way in the back, but this person, did you win already? No, I didn't. Are you sure? Let's hear it. There is no east side of Chicago. That is correct. Give that man a pin.
That would be
Excellent.
Lake Michigan.
Oh, that's excellent.
It's the second Chicago reference tonight.
Yes. Yes, I thought we'd have Chicago in the house. Good job. Boy, these people, you can't stump them. We're going to move on to something else. We're going to do a couple of encores. We're going to change themes slightly. We're going to move away from story songs here, and we're going to do 3 songs that are dedicated to previous podcast guests, because I'm shameless in plugging this show over and over again. So you've got your lyric sheets. This may puzzle you because this gentleman has not been on the podcast as of yet.
Ah.
And who is it, Dara? Who's coming? You want to tell them? Neil Sedaka.
Yes. Yes.
He'll be with us next week on the 25th, live with a Jew. With a
Jew. Let's chant and bash the place up. Jew.
You're such a rowdy bunch. So who knows when we'll post this one and what the actual chronology or timeline is, and Neil will probably have run by then. Yes, but we're thrilled to have him, and it's I'm going to geek out during that show. So this is a song he wrote, did not have a hit with. Obviously, that was The Captain and Tennille, but everybody knows this one. So no excuses. We want to hear from everybody in the room. Nancy, you're into this one, I know. Let's let it rip, Mr.
1, 2, 3, 4, love.
Love will keep us together. Think of me, babe, whenever some sweet talking guy comes along, singing his song. Don't mess around, you just gotta be strong. Stop, 'cause I really love you. Stop, I've been thinking of you. Look at my heart and let love keep us together.
That comes later.
You belong to me now, and I ain't gonna set you free now. When those guys start hanging around, talking me down, hearing your heart and you won't hear a sound. Oh, stop, 'cause I really love you. Stop, I've been thinking of you. Look in my heart and let love keep us together. Whatever.
Here comes the bridge.
Young and beautiful, someday your looks will be gone. When the others turn you off, who'll be turning you on? I will be there to share forever. Love will keep us together. I've said it before and I'll say it again. While I said, I'll need you now and I'll need you then. Just stop, 'cause I really love you. Stop, I've been thinking of you. Look at my heart and let love keep us together. Whatever. I will.
We're out of lyrics. Good song for the piano.
Excellent. Here we go, chorus.
One more.
You better stop.
'Cause I really love you. Stop, I've been thinking of you. Look in my heart and let love keep us together. Whatever. I will. Da 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 da. Ba da da.
Sedaka is back.
There
Very excited for that one. Neil Sedaka.
You play that beautifully.
I'm a big fan of the Captain. Seriously.
Captain, Daryl Dragon.
He was a Beach Boy. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I understand that Captain coined, this maybe bullshit too, coined the term yacht rock.
Could be. Could be.
had
It
the
would
hat.
make sense. So, do you know the movie Sextet?
I'm afraid I do.
Because, Mae West, they changed the lyric in the bridge. He says, "Your looks will never be gone," instead of "someday your looks will be gone," which is kind of a cruel line, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
You wouldn't want to say that to Mae West.
Now was Tom Selleck one of the boys in there?
You're thinking of... Is he in Sextet?
Timothy Dalton is the one that sings to her. He sings to her.
I think you're thinking of Myra Breckenridge.
Oh, maybe it's that. I know he's in one of them.
I can't be sure now
as
either.
like the young guy.
Written by who? Who wrote the screenplay for that?
Oh, Gore Vidal?
No, he wrote the book.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Hervé Villechaize is correct. No, it's not.
Love will keep us together. Think of me, babe, whenever some sweet talking guy comes along, singing his song. Don't mess around, you got to be strong. Go stop, 'cause I really love you. Stop. I've been thinking of you. Look in my heart and let love keep us together.
Oh, Lord. That was the biggest song of 1975. Can you believe that? Did you find that? We should get Toni Tennille on the podcast.
Oh, yes.
I bet she's got stories.
Yes.
I bet she'd be a wonderful interview. Yes, as Frank points out, she's available. What Joe was referencing, Sedaka is back. If you go home and you listen to that song, as they're doing the, I guess it's the
outro.
The outro. You can hear her say, Sedaka is back, which was the name of his album, his comeback album. Sedaka's
Very
back.
sneaky.
Very sneaky little tribute.
And theirs was the third version of it. The second version was Mac and Katie Kassoon. Do you know
Oh, well, yes.
Chirpy,
Chirpy, Cheep, Cheep is one of my standards.
that? Great song.
Let me tell you something, pal. This is the only podcast in the world that talked about Chirpy, Cheep, Cheep. And if you
That's
know,
why we found each other.
why it's kismet, Joe. It's kismet. If you know that reference, God help you. Moving along. Okay, we're gonna let Gilbert go a little bit. We're gonna let him run this one.
Oh, yeah.
And we tried, or actually Frank tried, to get the actual songwriter here to sing this.
Sure did. But he knew enough to stay away.
The Shirley Temple Show.
Yes, maybe. He was in town. We took a stab. We'll have him back on the show for sure. I think you guys all know this one. Again, this is a tribute to not a story song, but a tribute to a former podcast, a previous podcast guest, I should say. One of our favorite guests, the great Paul Williams, who's also a friend of Seth's, and we love him to death. So we're gonna do this one. It's been covered by Judy Collins. It's been covered by it's been from a 40-year-old movie. A movie turned 40 this year, the Muppet movie. By the way,
Holy God.
40 years. We want to feel old. Covered by Judy Collins, by Kenny Loggins, by Willie Nelson, by the Dixie Chicks, and tonight, most importantly, by Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried as Paul Williams.
Here we go. It's the next best thing to having Paul.
1, 2, 3.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered if wished on a morning star? Somebody thought of that and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. And amazing that keeps us stargazing. And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic.
1, 2, 3.
Have you been half asleep and have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice may be one in the same. Heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
Now, Just Gilbert.
All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic.
Paul Williams and Kenny Asher. Paul, we love you. If anybody sends this video to you, we adore you and we wish you were here.
Wish we were here.
We really do. Also nod to the great Kenny Asher, who did some wonderful work. Gilbert, that was touching.
Yeah.
One more. What do you say?
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
We good on time? Yep. You want to hear the good ship Lollipop? Frankie, we good?
Did Shirley Temple ever meet Paul Williams? Ouch.
Moving on.
Yes.
Don't listen to that one, Gilbert. This is a song that is 50 years old. And this is really going to make people feel old, especially me. And I mean it's 50 years old like 2 weeks ago. And this is a podcast guest. Before I do that, I'm going to do one quick trivia question. We got any pins left, honey?
Yeah.
One quick trivia question about the Muppet movie. Paul Williams is in it. He has a cameo, a quick scene. What other Gilbert Gottfried amazing colossal podcast, I forgot the name of our show, amazing colossal podcast guest appears in the Muppet movie for an orange pin? Genevieve knows. You can't guess.
I know.
Anybody? Whoa. Hand right there, Michael Goldsman. Not Dick Cavett. He should have been. Way in the... You won one already. It is not Alan Alda. Any other guesses? This gentleman in the beard. Austin Pendleton.
Wow. Excellent.
Excellent. Give that man a pin. I have to say, this is a pretty impressive group. So this song, as I say, is 50 years old. It was the #1 song of 1969. And it was sung, you know where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Have you cheated and looked ahead in your packet?
No.
It was sung, by an animated character, Archie Andrews, but actually sung by our friend, Ron Dante. The great Ron Dante, who was on one of my favorite episodes.
And I think that Ron Dante, didn't they use his voice for like Betty and Veronica also?
I don't know that.
That was Tony Wine. She sang Betty and Veronica. But Ron Dante had a simultaneous hit around that time with Tracy by the Cufflinks.
Tracy by the
And then he went to produce Barry Manilow after that.
Ron Dante made a small fortune producing Barry Manilow records, one hit after the other. I mean, if you look at them, I mean, from Mandy to New York City Rhythm and Ready to Take a Chance Again, and even Now and Weekend in New England, all produced by Ron Dante. Can't Smile Without You. The whole list. What else about this song? Really quickly, it was written by Jeff Barry, great Jeff Barry,
Tons of hits.
leader of the pack, for one, and
Be
others.
My Baby, Then
Yeah.
You Kissed Me, River Deep, Mountain High, and the theme from the Harlem Globetrotters animated Saturday morning.
Absolutely, good call. And somebody we want to get on the show. Also, Andy Kim co-wrote this song, who had a hit with Rock Me Gently. Anybody remember that one? From the 70s.
And he did a remake of Baby I Love You that was also a hit.
Really good. Both of them are alive, and we should track them down. And the song, I saw the song performed in this very room by you and Tony Wine. Right. And the great Tony Wine. So we'll go out on it. Produced by the legendary Don Kirshner.
Oh.
Yes. So you want to take a whack at this one?
Sure.
Everybody knows this.
Starts with the chorus.
Good song to kick off summer.
1, 2, 3. Sugar up.
Honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Honey, sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you.
Seth Saltzman, ladies.
I just can't believe the loveliness of loving you. I just can't believe it's true. I just can't believe the love this face feeling too. I just can't believe it's true. Oh, sugar. Honey, honey. You are my candy girl, and you want me wanting you. Sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. When I kissed your girl, I knew how sweet a kiss could be. A kiss could be.
Let's hear you, people. Come on.
Like the summer sunshine pouring sweetness over me. Sweetness over me.
Everybody.
I'll pour your sugar on it, honey.
Come on, Rabbi.
Pour your sugar on me, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make your life complete.
That's Tony's part.
Pour your sugar on it, oh yeah. Pour the sugar on it, honey. Oh, pour the sugar on it, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make your life so sweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pour the sugar on it, honey.
Sugar.
Honey, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you.
Keep it going, Joe.
More time.
Sugar. Sugar, sugar. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you.
Gilbert Gottfried, Frank Santopadre.
Wow. Thank you, Joseph.
Now, was
I was
this...
thinking of Meshuggah and Meshuggah
Yeah.
when I was standing next to the rabbi. Why didn't Weird Al do that one?
Now, was this the song that they had lined up for the Monkees?
I don't know that.
There was a song that was lined up for the Monkees.
We'll get it and get back to you.
Right before they quit, right before they gave up, and the song became a monster hit.
Let me thank everybody who was involved with this show. Frank Verderosa, our engineer. Our photographer, David Simon, right here. Seth Saltzman's a musician who contributes to the show, the Mario Cantone Show. John Fodiatis wrote many themes for the show. Paul Rayburn is in the house. Where are you, Raybone? There he is. We got to thank the 4 Johns who contribute to this show. Our webmaster, John Seals, John Fodiatis, I said, John Beach, and John Murray, who also does music for the show. Our web people, Mike McPadden and Greg Pear, who are great. Krista Rose, who's helped with research. Andy Slater at Earwolf. Everybody at Earwolf and Stitcher. Oh, who am I forgetting? We want to thank the staff here at Sid Gold's. Thank you all so much. Thanks to everybody else who came out. Mike Bonfiglio, Mike Weber for moral support. Of course, the great Gino Salamone, whose name is like Voldemort to Gilbert. And, of course, the lovely Genevieve, my wife, my long-suffering wife. And our gift girl for the evening, and Dara, of course. We have to thank Dara. Last but not least, the fabulous Joe McGinty.
Thank you.
And what did you want to say?
There are actually 2 birthdays, one recent and the other last month. There's on May 18th, my son Max.
Max, where are you?
Where's Max?
Happy birthday. Thank you, Max. He's shy.
And Max is my father's name. He was born on my father's birthday.
Perfect. How about that?
And one other person, if I remember, it's on June 12th. And I remember this because June is the 6th month. And
it's John MacGyver's birthday, too.
Yeah.
Right.
She was 6. She was born 6 pounds and 12 ounces. So on June 12th, Lily Gottfried.
Lily, happy birthday to Lily. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lily.
And Max. Happy birthday to you.
Anything else you want to say, Mr. G?
Now we can't get sued for happy birthday now. Because it used to, every movie used to be, for he's a jolly good fellow, that always took me right out of the movie.
That's it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
This means so much to us that you came out. Okay, any minute now. All right, Gil. Thank you.
All right, thanks for coming out. You guys are all welcome to stick around. We have, if you want to do some more singing, live piano karaoke.
And this has been Gilbert Gottfried's amazing Colossal podcast with my co-host, Frank Santopadre.
If you didn't know that. Thank you all.
Well, with big rock singers.